people.
Yes.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 88 of the Shadow Cult podcast. And yes, V-Day weekend. Yeah, we figured since it's Valentine's Day weekend, what better time than now than to do this episode? The top 10 on-screen couples in wrestling history. Now, before people wonder, what do you guys mean? Preferably romantic couples on screen in wrestling.
But it's not a 100%. It's not a
It's up
killer
to interpretation, but
yeah.
If they were a real life couple and they were paired on screen, that counts.
It's a bonus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, Walter couldn't make it tonight because he's smoking some pork butt and doesn't know when it's finishing.
We got his list.
He's porking his meat.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. We have a list. Don't worry.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of lists, Walter will probably put us on his list now.
I've seen it. It's not that big of a list.
Well, true. But
everybody loves Walter. He doesn't have a list. Everyone loves Walt. It's all good.
But with all of that said and done, why don't we get started with talking about some honorable mentions? I actually have 5 honorable mentions. Granted, just like last week, I put this, or the week before last, had to put this list together last minute because I was gone all day, and then I took a nap because I had a headache. I wake up at 7:30, I'm like, oh shit! And then, so thankfully,
Google search.
I literally had to because it's like whenever I'm thinking with on-screen wrestling couples, it's like there's not a whole lot that are memorable to me. I mean, there are a few, yes, but the majority of them, it's like, eh. But luckily, I do have a list here, including 5 honorable mentions. So the first of only 3 non-WWE ones. Spoiler alert, the majority of my list is WWE picks. Because they're out of my time of being a wrestling fan. It's like WWE was really one of the only ones to do it all the time. Whereas other companies, not so much and not as memorable. Or they just flat out sucked. But this one, the first of 3 that are not WWE that I liked. Bully Ray and Brooke Tessmacher.
Ooh.
Even though as much shit as I give the Aces and Eights storyline and that faction, one of the only good things to come out of it was this duo of Bully Ray and Brooke
Tessmacher's ass.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that was the best part of that pairing.
But even with that, with Bully Ray being such a damn good heel and a really good world champion, and then having Brooke be like the right-hand woman, it just worked perfectly. And holy shit, broken thigh highs.
Fantastic. Gook. Fucking oak.
Google search.
What?
Come back to me. Come back to me, boy.
But next up, Goldust and Marlena.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's and this is one of the strange ones, only because, well, for a couple of reasons. They were married in real life at this point, Dustin and Terry, but also given the character of Goldust at the time, with all the gay innuendos going on, and then suddenly has a lady with him, and just to add more confusion to his opponents, and even to the point where we get to Rumble 97, when Jerry Lawler finally comes out and says it, okay, I'm just gonna ask, are you gay? No.
What made you say that?
What makes you think that?
Well, aren't you?
No.
What am I? And they actually, well, they said the other word for it.
The F word.
Yes, they did. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uncensored.
Yeah,
and Lawler's used that on his own TV show in Memphis years ago, several times.
But yeah, I just find it kind of funny. It's like, given the character of Goldust, for him to have a lady and just to make like his opponents more confused, like Savio Vega and Ultimate Warrior, etc., etc.
Laser.
Exactly. Piper.
Mm-hmm. Piper.
So there you go. But But still, even and then in '97, before Goldust turned heel, they really embraced it, especially after the worked shoot interview with Dustin during '97, around the same time with the Mick Foley one. Next up, this one's a bit iffy because we mostly remember this couple for what happened in late '97 and most of '98, but early on, they were cool together on screen. Marrow and Sable.
Oh.
Because when they first came up as both together as baby faces, the people loved both of them.
Wild Man!
Wild Man Marrow, and the crowd loved them both and loved the fact they were together. But then once Marrow got hurt, and then Sable started doing the T-shirt spot and all that stuff, everything went downhill from there for Marrow. Sucks how it works like that, but I mainly went with this one primarily for their run in '96 and early '97. Next up, Christian and Trish Stratus. I really, really like that couple, and especially the payoff to them being together after the whole storyline with Jericho and Christian trying to win a bet to see who could get Trish and Lita and stuff.
$1 Canadian.
Exactly. And then Jericho trying to get Trish back because he developed feelings for her, and then Trish gets her ultimate revenge by turning on him at WrestleMania 20 and then tonguing Christian, all this shit. And it's a shame. It's a shame the couple didn't last long, but for the time they were together, it fucking worked.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, for my fifth and final honorable mention, Mark Henry and Mae Young. While maybe not for the love factor, but for the comedic factor, I had to put it on here because every time these two went out on screen together,
Mae Young getting pregnant.
Yes. It's a hand!
It's a hand, and it belongs to Moolah. What? What'd I say? What? Who said that? What?
Still, whenever I watch that segment back, it still baffles my mind how Tommy Blanche, one of the co-creators of Metalocalypse, was the one that had to deliver the hand.
Briscoe was puking in the background.
Yep. Everything.
Well, Mark's trying to keep from laughing out loud.
And why?
So, just for comedic purposes, Mark Henry.
Anybody out there that wants to glorify the Attitude Era and think everything was wonderful? Here.
Right. And then the hand grew up at the 1,000. And even Michael Cole couldn't resist. Hello, I'm Mae Young Sung. But those are my honorable mentions. Scott?
All right, I have 7 honorable mentions. The first one actually is courtesy of my wife, and I totally forgot about this, but at its time in TNA, yes, The Gathering, Raven and Alexa Lurie, later to be known as Mickie James. And there were several different, people involved with The Gathering and the group that Raven had. CM Punk and so forth, yeah. So, but Alexis Lurie, excuse me, she started in Ring of Honor and worked her way into TNA from there, and then associated with Raven. So yeah, a good chemistry together. And Raven always looked good with a chick. Matter of fact, I had Raven and Kimona on my list, but I took it off because it was mostly for Kimona. Let's be honest. By the way, hi, Chris. She's friends of mine on Facebook. Yeah, like she watches this show. But so that's the first one. Second honorable mention, ECW in this one, Sandman and Woman. Great combination there.
That one.
Yep. Oh yeah, great combination there. The chemistry they had together, and just how she was the dominant factor, and he was just the obligatory drunk in the background. Like, you looking at my girl? I'm gonna kick your ass, boy.
Smoking the cigarette, drinking the beer with the cane,
and the infamous, thank you, sir. May I have another angle with Dreamer? She was involved with that too. Everything about it just wonderful. This one's in the honorable mentions. If it's on anybody's main list, I will not talk much about it. Dusty Rhodes and Fafa, baby.
Actually, no.
No?
Not on my list.
I mean, it's an honorable mention because they were a fun combination. They were fun back in the day when Dusty was there and Sapphire was there. It was fun. It was uplifting. It was energetic to see the two of them out there and enjoying just hanging out together and doing their thing. So big shout out to them. Another entry from ECW, Tommy Dreamer and Beulah.
9.
9? Okay. And 4. All right. I'll shut up. I will let you guys talk about that when we get to it. Next honorable mention, Stevie Richards and Victoria.
I was thinking of putting that one on my list. Okay, honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Yeah,
the psycho couple.
Oh, fantastic
The Rubber Room Crew.
Yeah, and they just work so well together.
And he's like, "Oh yes, bite my ear,
yeah,
bitch."
baby. Yes, yes. And Victoria, come on, and put her with anybody. It was okay, but Stevie, it was something new for Stevie that he could get into, and they worked just so well together. So yeah, definitely a combination there. Next one, WCW time, Diamond Dallas Page and Kimberly.
It was on my long list of names before I shortened it down.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so I'll let you talk more about that when we get to it. And then my last entry, I guarantee neither of you guys have this combination on your list because it's my only entrant from World Class Championship Wrestling. It is the team of Hollywood John Tatum and Missy Hyatt.
Nope.
One of the best heel tag teams of that territory.
Close.
What's that?
Sort of close.
Sort of close? Okay. So you have something close to it. The tag team in World Class at the time that had a lot of heat was Hollywood John Tatum and Jack Victory. And Missy Hyatt was with John Tatum at the time. She was their valet. And she had feuds with Sunshine. And they feuded a lot with other tag teams there, the Simpsons, and various combinations of the Von Erichs and so forth. Traded the tag titles back and forth too. But John and Missy just had this great chemistry. And they got so much heat. Just a wonderful job between the two of them. You don't hear a lot about John Tatum these days. He was a really solid worker in that era. He did such a great job. So I think it was either when Mick Foley got inducted or something like that he called John Tatum to stand up in the audience. He's like, that's what John Tatum looks like, folks. Stop comparing me to him. It's like, I don't look like that, which is true. John Tatum actually looks more like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So that's my honorable mentions to list you guys. James.
All right, I have 5 honorable mentions. My first one, Levi mentioned already, Goldust and Marlena.
Mm-hmm.
My second one, Shawn Michaels and Sensational Sherry. No, okay, I'll say no more. Mm-hmm. My third honorable mention, Adrian Street and Miss Linda.
Oh, dude, man, I fucking missed that one.
The original Goldust and Marlena.
The original, yes. Great call on that one.
My fourth one, Eddie Guerrero and China. and then my fifth one, because it was such a great story, it's a shame it didn't last long, but Otis and Mandy Rose.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
see?
Wow. So, yeah,
yeah,
my honorable mentions.
I didn't even think of that one, but yeah. Younger generations, I can see why you guys have that. Like I said, none of you are going to have Hollywood John Tatum and Missy Hyatt. So
I have one that's close, and you may know which one I'm talking about.
I have an idea, but respect to you, I'll let you get to it. So, number 10.
Now to the actual list. My number 10 is Shawn Michaels' Sensational Sherry. After I was rewatching the Shawn Michaels Heartbreak and Triumph documentary on Peacock the other day at work, and saw how this came together, and it's weird. These two, no strangers to one another prior, in AWA with the Buddy Rose, Doug Summers Rockers feud. So yeah, when these two put together, it's like some skepticism, of course, from Shawn because he wasn't sure how it was going to go, but it turned out to be the best thing for him during his first time as a single star, and
first year as a singles.
His first year as a singles, and established his Heartbreak Kid character. So, and their entrance, of course, Sherry doing the theme, and their entrance where Shawn and Sherry would be in the ring, and he'd shove her down and then do the pose while looking at each other, and of course the fashion sense of the both of them. Impeccable.
And the end with a mirror shot.
Yes. I mean, what other way to break him up than with a mirror shot? So, yeah, that's my number 10, Sherry and Shawn. Scott.
All right, my number 10 has already been mentioned on both these guys' honorable mentions list, and it is Goldust and Marlena. Just a magic combination between the two of them. Goldust was one thing in and of itself, the entity, the character. But when you add this outstanding, beautiful-looking woman who sits in the director's chair smoking a cigar, it was a complete opposite of what you would expect. You could see like the gorgeous, hot woman go to the ring with the sleazy cigar-smoking manager as the guy. And here you have a complete 180 of those two characters, which made it stand out even more. It made it stand out and make you really be interested, like, what is going on with these two? Okay, he's the actor, she's the director. No, he's the artist, she's the creator. No, he's the weird guy, she's the aunt. No, what is happening here? Aha! It just adds so many quick questions to you, which piques your interest, makes you want to see them more, which gives them more interest on television. What a concept! And makes you want to see them more often. And plus, being married at the time, coming from WCW together, it just made it easier probably for them to work together. And Marlena did a great job in that role there. And of course, Dustin's most over character of all time is Goldust. It just is what it is. A foundation of the Attitude Era.
Oh God, Goldust hitting on Undertaker. That cologne's intoxicating. What is that? Is that embalming fluid number 5? Do you know? Let me feel you, Reaper. Do you know what rigor mortis is? It's the stiffening of the muscle.
You always do that, just trying to get Mark to break. Just trying to exactly. Just trying to.
Probably went backstage and just had a huge laugh.
Died laughing, slapping you, motherfucker! Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that again.
Don't ever do that.
If you ever try and make me break character again, I will kick your ass. Yeah, for right. Real.
You put the tongue between the teeth and just bite. That's what he had to do in JBL. Exactly. Yeah. Watch that. Watch that again. When they get the close-up of Mark, that's exactly what he's doing. You bite your freaking tongue, you can't laugh. Or you dig your fingers into your hand. You also do that shit, too. You can do that. That's what Bubba Rogers had to do when Jim Cornette would go off on his little tangents. Sunshine shoots in the Junior Moose department. Didn't know what the fuck was talking about. Just, fucker. Trying not to laugh anything.
All right, James.
My number 10 is Booker T and Charmel.
Yeah, but go ahead. Please talk.
Booker was missing something around that 05 period. He was kind of in that you don't know where he goes. Then they bring in his wife, they pair him together, they turn him heel, and they start doing great stuff. Then when he becomes the king, she becomes the queen, and then they carry that over into TNA, and they had a great run together.
Yep. Best run of Booker T's career.
But the way it all started was so weird with Kurt.
Yeah, it was during the Angle feud.
I want to have sex with your wife, but not just any sex, bestiality sex.
I forgot that. I think that was the reason I forgot that. Wow.
Hey, what was Kurt Angle trying to say? Because there's no way that was
scripted, no.
But just a great pairing of Booker T and Charmel.
All right, so now on to number 9. It was mentioned earlier briefly. Otis and Mandy Rose. Yeah, it ranked in the top 10, mostly because of the mere fact. Heading into WrestleMania 36, the whole thing with Otis, Mandy, Sonya, and Ziggler was the most well-built feud heading into that show.
Mm-hmm.
And Otis won for the regular guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He got the hot chick in the end.
Mm-hmm. Won the match, got the girl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what made it work, because it's like you live vicariously through Otis. Is somebody who's a meathead, who's just all about being goofy and
candy.
And you think him and a fucking statuesque blonde like fucking Mandy Rose? No way. Yeah, they worked well together in that short run where they were together. It was a lot of great stuff. And plus, you wanted to see something different out of Mandy, because the whole thing with her and Sonya, it was getting tiring by this point. And people wanted to cheer Mandy because nobody wanted to boo her at that point. Nowadays,
It's a
she's
shame.
so good as a heel now, but it's a shame it was so short-lived, though.
It's also a shame they couldn't have that moment in front of 70,000 people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
it would have been one of those Mania moments that you remember.
That night, yeah.
And then Otis's fall from grace was not too far.
Now he's starting to come back up.
Starting to come back.
Alpha Academy, and Mandy Rose is doing great things on NXT. And
yeah, I think they're both fine right now, so that's good. But
Gigi Dolan.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Gigi and Mandy.
Gigi and Mandy all night long, baby.
Yep. But yeah, and then those little vignettes we would get of like Otis dreaming about like jumping in the pool, getting up, sitting next to Mandy, and then realize he splashed her, but she was like, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like the whole the wholesomeness of it was cool, and it goes to show that also their friendship behind the scenes is very strong too.
And they played it up on social media. They would do they would tweets with each other and just continue that angle afterward. And built it up for that.
And they built it up for about a year until finally it's like Otis would hit on her, and slowly but surely it broke her down broke her down to the point they got paired together.
And it didn't make Mandy look bad at the end. It didn't make Otis, Otis looked like the goofy, bumbling, nervous dude,
But he was the real hero at the end of the day because he got her.
He got her at the end, and she never demeaned herself in any way to do it. She still remained the same, but just showed her heart. She showed more depth of a character.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Scott?
My number 9 has already been mentioned. It's King Booker and Queen Charmel. I mean, best run King Booker ever had. The character, an actual character that, Booker T having that he could just step into and just do the regal thing, pinky in the air, King Booker, everything about it. Yes, everything about it. And Queen Charmel, again, adding to it. It's one thing to have the valet as part of the team, but it's nothing when it's an actual, it elevates the main character. That's the magic of a great manager, is to make sure that they are actually there to help elevate their talent, not just get themselves over, like Jim Cornette, Bobby Heenan, Jimmy Hart, so forth. Queen Charmel, same thing. Perfect foil, she was a perfect partner with King Booker's character, and it all worked in the end.
James.
My number 9, Tommy Dreamer and Beulah McGillicuddy.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
At first, they were not paired together because Beulah was the fat girl from summer camp with Raven and Dreamer, and then she came back as the penthouse form chick, paired with Raven first, and then she says she's pregnant. Raven thinks it's Stevie, but no, it's Tommy's. But then it's revealed that she's not pregnant at all, and then her and Kimona were together, the first lesbian angle in wrestling history.
I'll take them both. I'm hardcore.
And then eventually that was dropped, but you had Dreamer and Beulah together for a few years there, and then she left TV and with the 3D, and then eventually they become a real life couple, still together all these years.
With their twin daughters who are on The Sopranos. And I remember having Tommy on a couple of my shows too, and he talked about that, and that was I forgot what this scenario was, but he would always just call her Stephanie because that's her name. But there was one or two situations where he would actually break down and call her Beulah, and he would catch himself when he did that. It was something to do with their kids or something like that. The kids were getting riled up or something, and she was yelling at them, getting kind of ornery, and he was like, "Oh, Beulah, calm down." Steph, relax. It just fell into that, And plus, you got to see her one night stand.
Both one night stands.
The
first one saving Dreamer, they doing the double DDT. The second one doing the 6-person tag.
Yep, taking the pin from Edge, and later on you would see her. God, where was it? I want to say
Hardcore Justice. Hardcore Justice during the Raven match.
Yep, there, and there was also a House of Hardcore show that Tommy would have that she would show up occasionally. She's mom mode now, so hey, she's still beautiful, and just love Beulah to this day. A lot of respect for her. She actually was going to NYU with a wrestling buddy of ours. He would walk by her. Hi, Beulah. Hi, T. Her name's Stephanie, dude. Call her Steph. Sledge.
Hey, Michelle. Little impromptu conversation going on right now.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
So now,
Number 8.
Now to number 8. I couldn't force it out quite as much, but my number 8, not only are they a couple in real life, but a couple on screen currently, Miz and Maurice.
4.
Ooh. But yeah, I mean, just the two heels that don't know when to shut the fuck up and people want to see them get their comeuppance, which, hey, they're good in that spot. The two loudmouth heels that do get their comeuppance in the end, but they're so cool together, even in real life. Like, I've seen a few episodes of Miz and Mrs., and it's like, how the hell did these two put up with Maurice's mom? Of all people.
Of all people. Mm-hmm.
The crazy one who wants to take her car.
Or Mrs. Dad, for that respect.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just cool whenever these two are on screen together, on and off, depending on if Maurice is feeling it or is pregnant with another kid. But when these two get together, man, they create some great heel magic. And that's why they're on my list at number 8. That was a little bit better. Not much, though. Scott?
All right, my number 8, we're going in the realm of WCW/NWA with gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Precious.
7.
7. See, damn close on that one. The real life married couple between the two. Yes, it was Jimmy Garvin and Sunshine initially in World Class. Precious was introduced into the storyline there eventually, and then it's Garvin and Precious. Their run in WCW, especially the angle with Kevin Sullivan, leading to the Tower of Doom match and that whole angle there too. But Garvin and Precious still together to this day. Garvin talked about her during his WWE Hall of Fame induction, and the fact that he mentioned that we're still together today got a huge pop. Like, holy shit, all the shit this woman had to put up with your ass and the Freebirds, you're still together? Good on her. She's a freaking saint. So, yeah, Garvin and Precious, love them, always did.
James.
My number 8 is Chris Candido and Tammy Sitch.
I don't have Tammy anywhere on my list because I just couldn't. I was like,
well, I mean, okay,
yeah,
look, off screen, say what you will, but on screen as a pairing, whether it be Smoky Mountain, WWF, ECW, or WCW, for about a decade there, they were a pretty damn good pairing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now on to number 7. My number 7's already been brought up. Booker T and Charmel. It's just, I still laugh my ass off at how we got introduced to them on television through the fucking gutter slut angle with Kurt Angle. But then they become heels, and kind of similar to Miz and Maurice, the two loudmouth heels you wish would shut up and get their comeuppance, and they did many times, but would get their rewards, such as King of the Ring, the World Heavyweight title run that Booker went on with Charmel by his side, and then even through TNA. Yeah, there was the Charmel Jenna Maraska match, which the less said about that, the better. But still, great stuff. Scott?
My number 7 is from ECW, Shane Douglas and Francine.
6.
I'm one ahead of James on all these things here. So I won't talk too much about it, so he can pontificate about it more. But yeah, great pairing. Works so well together. Again, Francine added to Shane's character. He's the captain of the football team and the head cheerleader. That's what it was all about between the two of them. Remember the pickle angle? Pickles and Douglas because he had the small penis. That whole thing there. It's like, oh my god! And one of my favorite fucking promos that never gets talked about in ECW, the "Let's Make a Deal" promo with Shane Douglas and Taz when Taz won the ECW World Television title. Oh, that was so freaking good. It just for its time. It just somebody's going to copy that someday, and I'm going to call him out on it. So Throw it to James so he can talk next.
My number 7, Jimmy Garvin and Precious.
Yep. There we go.
Great pairing, of course. Forgot to also mention the Ric Flair feud, where Flair won the date with Precious, but it ended up being Ron Garvin and drag.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But Scott described them perfect and can't really say much more.
You're my buddy, right? Yeah. You're my friend? Yeah. Can I stay? Can I watch? JJ Dillon sneaking.
Oh, my God.
Oh, freaking good. And Garvin, it's been documented, Garvin liked to dress in women's clothing. Just, hey, it's a thing. People like doing that. So, good
Not
on
that
you.
there's anything wrong with that.
No, I'm not judging anybody, but Garvin, that's why he was Miss Atlanta, that whole thing. So, hey, good on you, dude. He's a tough motherfucker anyway. He will kick your ass. He can wear what he wants.
Hands of stone. Like, you hear the stories of the chop fests him and Flair had, and just raw chest.
Mm-hmm. The infamous, James, you probably know this story. If Walt was here, he'd be saying it right now. The infamous story that when Jake Roberts worked with Ron Garvin, you always knew Garvin was about to make a comeback because his nipples would get really hard.
Oh my God.
And Walter and I found it's in the Jake Roberts shoot interview from our video. Me and Walter watched that. We were wrestling. I think we were in a battle royal one time. I had him in the corner. He's the heel. I'm the face. I had him in the corner. I'm doing punches in the corner. I hear him yell, "My nipples are getting hard!"
Oh my!
So yeah, that's a high spot there. So yeah, go ahead. Number 6.
666.
I feel like I'm about to bust a gut, or I'm about to smell my own asshole in any moment from a fart. Anyways, my number 6 has already been brought up. Diamond Dallas Page and Kimberly. I mean, yeah, it's like you look back on how they were first together on screen in like 95 and how she would leave him to go with Johnny B. Bad for a short period of time. But then we get into 97 when it's the NWO taking over and you got Savage there messing around and he and Elizabeth mess with Kimberly and then DDP sticks up for her and then they're on screen together for a long time, and boy, were they great together. And not only that, but married in real life at this point. And oh god, that one picture of Dallas with the cigar holding her tits while she had the U.S. title on her crotch. Wow, Dallas, you lucky son of a bitch.
And then now, I know Dallas just got remarried, and but and I believe Kimberly is with somebody else now too, and they're still friends. They're still friends to this day. Yeah. They're still very, very close. But when Diamond Dallas Page came to the WWF and they gave him the stalker angle of Sarah,
that's one thing I always was like, married to Kimberly, who's a fucking 10 goddess, and hitting on Sarah, who. Not the worst looking in the world, but
compared to Kimberly,
you're married to a 10.
10 plus.
I remember. I remember.
Speaking of, she carried the 10 sign whenever Dallas would do a move. 10.
That's true. 10. Yep. Exactly.
And James, I think I remember you did this comparison in the past, and I think it's the best comparison ever. Kimberly is like prime rib. Sarah is lunch meat.
It's something that Bobby Heenan would used to do, like comparing Flair's belt to Hogan's belt.
This is like comparing ice cream to horse manure.
Yeah,
exactly.
Prime rib and lunch meat.
Yep, there you go.
But Dallas and Kimberly, and it's kind of sad hearing like with both sides. The real reason why they fell apart was because Dallas didn't want to have kids, whereas Kimberly did.
Right. And eventually Dallas would have kids.
And I remember like Nash talking about it when they were doing the use a hoe and brought that up. And it's like, damn, they probably would have had some great kids if Dallas would have manned up and actually had some with her.
Well, he did. He did with another woman after Kimberly.
Eventually, yeah.
But there's a Kimberly. He said Kimberly really wanted to be like a mom, but at that point in his life, Dallas didn't want kids, and he saw Kimberly down on the floor playing with Nash's son. And he said, "Let me watch you play with somebody else's kids for 5 minutes, and I'll tell you if you're a good person or not." And he loved her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, that's my number 6, Scott.
All right. My number 6 has been mentioned. Shawn Michaels and Sherry. Magic combination. Yes, the AWA history between the two. It was so cool to see them together. This was also another indication of that Vince was really going to have a lot to put into Shawn, because Sherry had been with Macho Man. She had already been with DiBiase. Yes.
Yep. Yep. Because the promo where this whole thing started about 30 years ago to the date, where Sherry's like, I've fallen in love and all this, and she says it was Shawn Michaels, and Paul Bearer brings up, well, what about Ted DiBiase? And DiBiase said, go for it.
Yep. The most amicable split you could have in the business.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, we just clarified that. So thank you.
She said, "My teddy bear."
My teddy bear. Yes, my teddy bear. That was the thing. Yes. So yeah, yes, I think well, at least in WWF, that was the last person that Sherry managed before she went to WCW.
He did manage Tatanka for a brief period, but that was it.
Yeah, and we see how that went. But yeah, Sherry and Shawn, tremendous chemistry together. They do the deal where he'd grab her hair and throw her down, and she'd go down the canvas and just look up at him like he's the best. Which originally Vince didn't like them doing that, but eventually he got it, what the purpose of it was, and he let them do it. So yeah, and just magical together, and it added something to Shawn, because if Shawn, just like with like Sullivan and Jackie. The guy in the ring's pissed off and acting stiff, throw him to the floor, Sherry will take care of it. Because she would do that. She would say to Shawn, like, if that motherfucker gets stiff with you, send him to the floor. And she would scratch and gouge and kick and do everything she can. It's like,
and scream and...
Oh, yeah. And when she wore those outfits to show that.
Yes.
So, SummerSlam 92.
Thank you. Say no more.
May you rest in peace, Sherry.
Yes. Much love.
All right, James.
My number 6 was already mentioned by Scott, but Shane Douglas and Francine. You had the franchise and the head cheerleader. Wink, wink. But just a great pairing. Two people who could get a lot of fucking heat in ECW. The Pitbull angle where Douglas broke his neck, and then you had him throw him to the ground and with the halo. They would get so much fucking heat for that shit. Like, just a great the only pairing in my top 10 that was not a off-screen couple.
Right.
But just a great on-screen pairing.
Now into the top 5. My number 5. Eddie Guerrero and China. That whole run you had in the middle of 2000 where... And it was funny how it started. Like, Eddie was hitting on China, heading into WrestleMania, and then China kicked his ass at WrestleMania. But then shortly after, put them together.
The night after WrestleMania.
Yeah, the night after WrestleMania, put them together, and Eddie turns babyface and got super over at the time.
As a character.
As a character.
Nothing no heat.
And it's such a shame that the run was short-lived, though. It ended in the fall of the year. I think it could have went a little bit longer. Would have been better than what we ended up with China with the whole neck angle. So
right. But this was also where we got a little bit more, like, China was becoming a little bit more likable because she was actually succumbing to Eddie's, like, come on, baby, let then. And she started doing little shimmies and stuff. Like,
They went to the prom.
Oh, my God. Ready to get my dancing shoes on, baby. She's all in a nice outfit, and she spoke Spanish, so they could do that together and getting in the lowrider together. It helped add it to her. It elevated her. At the same time, having him step out to just being the wrestler dude, he could actually be a character, like you said.
Yeah, and that's where Eddie's charisma really began to shine throughout from there to the end of his career and his life.
Just the lollygag in the corner.
Yeah.
What's up, baby?
But I just remembered. Speaking of when China speaks Spanish, that brings me back to King of the Ring '98. Triple H, I'll buy many things, but lingual isn't one of them. Wait, did I just mean to say that? Whatever, we're live, pal. It just made me remember that because, it was right after you saw China talking with the Spanish commentators, speaking it fluently.
Yep.
And that happened. Like, oh,
are you bilingual?
I'm by many things, but
Things,
lingual
but
isn't
lingual
one of
ain't
them.
one of them.
Wait, did I just need to say that?
Well, in any case, we're live.
Exactly.
I beg your pardon?
Testes, 1, 2, 3.
3? Testicles, that is all.
Attention, restaurant.
Give me that.
customers. But anyways, James.
My number 5 has not been mentioned yet, but Edge and Lita.
You got me this time. You got ahead of me this time. Nice.
A
So go ahead.
pairing that was put together because of what was happening off screen.
Yes.
Because Lita was with Matt Hardy, then Lita started traveling with Edge, and their romance started, and people knew about it, people found out, and they started chanting, we want Matt, and then finally, they just put them together, and Lita turned her back on Kane, which, if you look at the realm of kayfabe, it was justified because of the start of that relationship.
Yes.
But Edge and Lita would get so much heat throughout 2005 and 2006, and at one point they were the WWE and the Women's Champion at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Edge wins the WWE title. The next night they have a live sex celebration on Raw.
Which they didn't want to do. In no way, shape, or form. And Lita has gone on record saying that she was basically forced to do that. If she didn't do that, she was going to be fired. She has made no bones about that. And look where she is now.
Yeah. But
Long
what?
talks.
Just
I can't even speak.
just a great pairing who got a lot of fucking heat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Legit, organic heat that just you don't see anymore.
And they were put together because of that heat.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, my number 4. It's been mentioned a few times already.
Wait, did Scott mention a number 5?
Me and Levi had the same one.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had the same one.
Okay.
The same one. But my number 4, Tommy Dreamer and Beulah McGillicuddy.
Mhm.
I've said. Scott?
My number 4, James just said it, Edge and Lita. Yes, magic pairing there. Let's face it, it's Matt Hardy's fault because he went public with it and whined about it online like a bitch. And this is what happens when you don't do things personally because the Hardys have to make it all about themselves. And especially, Matt at that time was just, what the fuck, man? It was just on a lot of shit back then. I just watched, right now on YouTube is the Kayfabe Commentaries Ring Roast 3 of Jim Cornette, which is horrible, by the way. It's not good.
Yeah.
But I actually bought that DVD and asked to have it returned, and I got a different DVD in return. They let me return it to them because I just didn't like it. Usually we have people return stuff because stuff doesn't work. I said, this works fine. I didn't like it. Can I please have something else? So I got a Gabe Sapolsky, Kevin Sullivan guest booker thing, which ain't much better. But during Missy Hyatt's speeches there, she says his promos are worse than a 2 a.m. Matt Hardy Twitter rant. And so that's where I'm going with that. But in the end, the biggest missed opportunity and what the fuck moment of that time frame was when they hired Matt Hardy after the whole thing with Edge, where Matt would jump the ring and attack him. You bastard! I'll be a Ring of Honor! I'll be on throw him out of the building.
Go back to the Indies, asshole.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he would go in those rants, and then the motherfucker shows up in a limo, shakes hands with Vince, and you're done. Nobody cares about you anymore. Like, oh, okay, you work here now, so who cares?
Matt Hardy will not die!
Yeah. Guess what? Wonderful! Yeah. That's what we got out of that. But yes, Edge Lita, like James said, massive heat.
James?
My number 4, the Miz and Maurice. Already been mentioned, and Maurice only gets better with age.
Sure.
Fine wine.
Fine wine, that's right.
But now to my number 3. My turn to talk about Edge and Lita. And going back to what you were just saying, Scott, about the big missed opportunity with Matt, and doesn't help also that they were the second match at SummerSlam when they should have been third to last or second to last before the main event. Given
They
how
were the
hot
second.
that feud
That was the. in terms of matches with heat heading into that show, it was Shawn Hogan, and then it was Matt and Edge.
Yes.
Like, the world title matches didn't fucking matter.
No. But, of course, as James, you've talked about before, they did all that to teach Matt a lesson, essentially. Thankfully, they had a really damn good cage match the next month at Unforgiven to
and they had a
make up for it.
They also had a no holds barred where the side effect off the stage, and they both got carted off.
And then the ladder match after that at Raw Homecoming. But yeah, Edge and Lita, I mean, also fucking Lita. Oh, I don't think she looked better in her life or in her time in the business than that point. Because
a lot of strong two-sided tape being used there. Make sure nothing falls out.
Yeah. But,
and then let's touch again about the fucking sex show, because like I said, they're told about it when they get there. Neither one of them is comfortable with this. Neither one of them wants to do it, but they're going to do it because that's what they have to do. They promoted it, they booked it, and Lita was told, "You don't do it, you're going to get fired." And she has gone on publicly and said that. And you get a little nip slip in there, and a lot of very.
Funny. And it's funny to think. It's funny to think that that's one of the many things that the company would want you to forget about Lita was showing the boob. Yet you're fine with talking about them actually having sex.
Having a sex.
So it's like
we need to have sex. Just don't show anything.
Remember the public says, but you've scrubbed the nipple from your head.
Yep, it makes no sense. Stupid stuff.
Dumb. But yeah, that's my number 3, Scott.
My number 3 has already been mentioned. It's Miz and Maurice. What more need to be said?
James?
My number 3, to go back to one of Scott's honorable mentions where I said it was close, but my number 3, Eddie Gilbert, Missy Hyatt.
Eddie Gilbert, Missy Hyatt, yes.
Because I was trying to figure out which pairing of Missy Hyatt to put on, the John Tatum one or the Eddie Gilbert one, and I know the Gilbert one more than the Tatum one because Hyatt and Tatum joined Hot Stuff International. Missy betrayed Tatum to go with Eddie. Then it was H&H International. They lasted a little bit together. They were together in real life for a little while as well.
Yep, they were married. Yep. Actually, Medusa and Missy call each other sisters-in-law, or wives-in-law, because they were both married to Eddie Gilbert at one point. And also, Missy was the catalyst for a short-lived feud in WCW with the great Muta and Eddie Gilbert. Do you remember the Clash of Champions with the Fireball? It's Clash 6 or 7.
One of them.
Yeah, Gary Hart comes out with Muta. This is when he first come to the company. And they're supposed to have a demonstration of a Dragon Shy match. But Gary basically says, we're not doing this because they had 2 job guys in the rings. They want someone like a Ricky Steamboat or a Sting. Someone bigger, better, and more important than these 2 schmoes. Gilbert comes out, goes to throw a fireball at Muta because Muta spit the green mist in Missy's face.
Yeah.
And like injured her and stuff. This is back when the mist was really dangerous and all that stuff. So Missy went down. Eddie got hot. So Eddie goes to throw the fireball at Muta. He pulls one of the job guys in the way. And the way they got the camera angle, it looks like this whole guy's body goes up in flames. It was a huge, and it's flash paper. We know how fireballs work in wrestling. But it was a huge ball. It was a really big wad there that he lit, tossed it, and boom, it went up. And I forget the guy's name, which job guy it was. But Jim Ross is in the ring. He sells it like crazy. They grab Muta out of there because the story also was, I can't believe I remember this shit. The story also was Muta wore the face paint because his father was burned in the face, and his father was I'm getting so excited. It's the Great Kabuki. His father was supposed to be the Great Kabuki in kayfabe. So Kabuki wore face paint because he was burned in the face by fire. So he was scared of fire. So Muta was scared of fire. That's why Eddie Gilbert used the fireball. So Missy was the catalyst for that very short-lived angle. So short, I probably talked more about it than it actually existed. So
probably gonna have to rewatch all the different clashes.
Yes, I want.
It was one of the earlier ones.
It's 6 or 7. It's one of those 2. I used to watch it constantly. Yep.
But now,
number 2.
Are we ready to talk about the top 2?
No, I think we all have
the
same ones here.
Yes,
we might. Go ahead.
Well,
your number 2.
My number 2, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon.
Yep.
And number one.
Number one.
Randy
Macho
Savage,
Man,
Miss Elizabeth.
Yep. I kind of figured we would have the same 1 and 2.
I didn't. And originally, I had Hunter and Stephanie lower on my list. Initially, there were like 6 or 7, but then I started adding more and more names to the list there, and they just kind of kept bumping up there. So yeah,
they went up the list without doing anything.
Yes, exactly. The only Anderson principle. Yeah. So yeah, totally unsolicited, ladies and gentlemen. All 3 of us, 3-way tie on number 2 and 1, and we all had a majority of the same people, just in different spots. Yeah, very rare that we have something different on here.
Triple H and Stephanie McMahon started with Triple H drugging Stephanie and potentially having sex with her unconscious body.
Oh, the love I can feel in the air. Or is that something else I feel in the air?
And using her as a puppet. Yes, I do. I will do everything you say.
Still one of the most memorable segments in Raw history.
It is. Yes. Just that whole wedding setup there, and everything's beautiful. And there's Tess, and there's Vince, and there's Stephanie looking beautiful, and then theme music. Here comes Triple H with that look on his face, like.
Well, I just want to make sure you saw this first.
This. You might want to. So anyway, Dad.
The question that you gotta have on your mind, Dad, is not if we, but how many times did we consummate the marriage?
I hate you! Yeah. And then we get the moment at Armageddon when they come together, and it's Stephanie getting revenge on Vince for everything that he did to her earlier in the year with the ministry and having her kidnapped.
Yeah. Continuity, folks.
But just a great run, and especially the first ending of Triple H and Stephanie 20 years ago.
Renewing their wedding vows. I was just remembering
see you for who you truly are.
Hey, nobody like bitch! we are through! And then the famous face of Stephanie just screaming.
That is nightmare fuel, especially when they lower the tone and the voice and shit.
For No Way Out.
Brighten everything up, like, oh yeah, woman scorn, define right there. It was so.
And then they eventually become a real life couple, and they played upon it on TV every so often. Like we all knew Triple H and Stephanie were together in real life, and then eventually in the build up to WrestleMania 25, they reveal, yeah, we're married.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course having the kid and the picture on the Titantron with the Triple H's face. That's a great looking kid right there. He really looks like somebody I know. I can't put my finger on it. Just playing it up. All right, Steph, see you at home. I mean, see you in Rome.
Your brother's a gnome.
Or God, I'm trying to make sure I get this line right. Well, whose father who's a grown man that pulls his pants down and have other people kiss his ass, says the son of the father who has a son-in-law or has a daughter who's married to the man with the world's largest penis. Hey, I think we
or
he's probably hung down
when they're revealing Vince's illegitimate son and Triple H comes out and
and then it's like, incest, lol. Oh, Vince, you crazy motherfucker.
So fucking good.
But then again, they come together as the Authority.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That will continue on for years and years, all the way up to WrestleMania 32 with Roman and Triple H. And the whole package. They tried so hard to get everybody to hate Triple H and Stephanie.
Didn't
and
work.
Do all that. And also years previous to that with Daniel Bryan and the S Movement and the B+ player and that whole angle.
WrestleMania 33 with Rollins, and then she goes through the table. WrestleMania 34 and Ronda's debut.
Yes. So poignant as a couple, as entities, as heels throughout that whole run there. Just amazing.
But then there are wrestling couples, and then there is Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth.
I was going to bring up one last point with Triple H and Steph that I almost forgot about. It's like going back to the wedding thing, and I've said it many times before, and I'll say it again. This is a hill I will die on. The whole thing with the wedding with Stephanie and Tess leading up to Armageddon, it should have been Tess Triple H for the title at Armageddon. Would have made the whole thing even bigger. And, like, at the very end, after Triple H gets the belt back, and then Vince comes out, and Triple H annihilates both Vince and Test, and then Stephanie goes together, like, she betrayed her father and her husband. Quote, unquote.
Quote,
but
unquote.
I digress. But, yeah, Macho Man and Savage.
Macho Man and Savage? Don't you mean Macho Man and Elizabeth?
Macho Man and Savage and Elizabeth.
Yes. The first couple...
I'm still recovered from a nap, okay?
There are couples, and then there's Randy and Elizabeth.
Yeah, the top tier. You can't get bigger. Still remember the debut of Elizabeth, fresh in my mind. It's Mid-Hudson Civic Center, Poughkeepsie, New York. You know it because of the freaking bleachers. This is the way it's set up. You had Macho Man, who was the top prospect. All the managers were vying for him and soliciting him and proposing to him, like, you come with me, kid, you're going to get this much, get this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Has a match against some job guy, beats his shit, drops the elbow, calls on the managers in the ring. Thank you for everything you've taught me. But now, let the mystery be over. Macho Man is at its peak right now, and we gotta know who's gonna be the manager of the future WWF World Heavyweight Champion. Everybody get ready, 'cause here she comes, and out comes the gorgeous Elizabeth. Like,
and it's an interesting dynamic because Savage being the heel, Elizabeth being babyface.
Partly at the beginning, it wasn't pushed very much on television, but there were indications where Elizabeth was trying to kind of be a heel type character initially. They would have like there was a feud very briefly in the beginning in like '86 of Macho and Hogan. And Hogan would wrestle some job guy like Randy somebody, like it's a big fat dude on TV, very rarely. And then Elizabeth would come in, step up to Hogan, like, I just have a question for you, Mr. Hogan, from Mr. Macho Man. Why don't you ever wrestle anybody with any credentials? And then Macho Man would attack him from behind, and they'd have a little bit of a thing. So they tried to Elizabeth, but nobody liked it. And it was like, no, we don't want that. We like this girl. We want her to be nice, which led to the chauvinistic stuff and all the stuff that Macho Man would do to her to insult her and grab her by the
George
chin.
Steele. The
George Steele feud and everything. Elizabeth Nice and all that stuff too. All culminating, takeover.
With all culminating once Hogan and Savage came together to Mega Powers, and then Savage turns face, and then everybody's baby face. And that run lasted about almost a year and a half, and then we get to Mania 5 when it's Hogan versus Savage.
We also forget SummerSlam '88.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
With her
secret
ass shown. Yep.
The secret weapon.
Yes.
Yep.
Elizabeth's the secret weapon?
Mm-hmm.
He'll take the shirt off and there's her buttocks.
But overall, I mean, we could go on and on going about, just look at all the story that has been written based around those two. From the inception of them as a couple to Mega Powers. Okay. George Steele, Honky Tonk Man, Mega Powers explode. Elizabeth leaves and Macho Man becomes Macho King. Here's Sherry, Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior. Who's that in the audience? That's Elizabeth. What is she doing
about
here?
To get to that, yep.
Yep. And then go ahead, and then we go from there.
So yeah, and then one of the best Mania matches of all time with Savage and Warrior, where Savage must retire and lost to Warrior, and then Sherry kicking the shit out of Savage, and then Elizabeth's like, I can't take this anymore. Gets in, throws Sherry out of the ring, and then the hug heard round the world, and the crowd went fucking nuts, and even crying at this moment, because they're finally back together after so long. And then to the wedding at SummerSlam, the only wedding to not end in disaster in WWE, and all this and that. And it's like we talk about still, it's ironic when they did that, that was around the time their real life marriage was slowly starting to fall apart, which kind of sad looking back on that now, especially given the fact they're both no longer with us. Yeah. And then even together in WCW, like we were talking about earlier with DDP and Kimberly, that's how they got them two together on screen, was when...
It's like, when Elizabeth first came to WCW, they were together, and then they tried turning her heel, which didn't work.
She was not a good heel.
Them as heels together worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially during the Savage DDP feud.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it just became medicinal. It was medicinal to see the two of them together in some way. Because, a guy like me, I was 10 years old when she shows up on television and they're put together as a team. Remember, Savage hardly did much, like territory work. He basically did some stuff around Georgia and maybe the South, but then his dad starts a promotion, ICW. That became their hometown, their homegrown business, and goes to Memphis, and then from Memphis right to WWF thanks to Jimmy Hart. So boom, there's no AWA, there's no World Class, there's no Jim Crockett, there's no Florida. It's right from Memphis to Vince. So elevated right to the top right away, and she gets brought in too, and everything about it was just wonderful. And remember seeing like the layouts they would do for her in like WWF magazine where she was working out and then she's hanging out in the jacuzzi and stuff. This is the 80s. This is not where you got like the hot shit. If you wanted hot shit, you had to go to Jim Crockett and get the shitty calendar they did with all the wrestlers, but there was one picture of Missy Hyatt in it in a bikini.
Oh god, and now
she would be on the cover.
She'd be on the cover. Yep.
I forgot. I was just about to say.
I think one year they did a Missy Hyatt calendar where it was all her.
All her? Okay. Yeah,
they might have did it like once.
I just remembered, speaking of Elizabeth and magazines, I remember that one clip of Gene Okerlund with the magazine with Elizabeth on the cover, and then it says, "Hey kid, take that and have some fun." If nobody knows what I'm talking about, go to if you got Peacock, watch Too Hot for TV with Jerry Springer, WWE bloopers and stuff, and that's on there where Gene Okerlund's back doing the almost like the precursor to Live Wire. I forgot what show it might have been, Prime Time or Superstars or something, where he's showing off Elizabeth on the cover of WWF magazine. Then looks at one of the camera guys like, "Here, take this and have fun."
Yes.
God bless you, Gene.
Yes, and so another one that's gone. Gene, Elizabeth, Macho Man. God.
So now time to construct the final 10. Well, it's safe to say top 3, I think, are pretty much safe.
Yeah.
Savage, Elizabeth, Hunter and Steph, Edge, Lita.
Right.
Yeah.
4th, probably
Miz and Maurice.
Miz and Maurice.
Yeah.
Miz and Maurice.
Miz and Maurice.
4th.
Yeah.
5th, Eddie and China. Eddie and China, maybe 5th.
Yes.
6th, King and Queen.
Yep.
Booker and Charmel, you think?
Yep. And then
7,
7, Shawn and Sherry.
Shawn and Sherry. 8, Goldust Marlena.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll go with
Beulah.
Tommy and Beulah, and then any of the Missy Hyatt ones. I'll let you guys have that.
Tie the 2 that we had on there. So
yeah.
Pretty solid list. Incidentally, from the wife, she wanted to add 3 more to the list here. Number 1, Lita and S.A. Rios.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were actually a wrestling couple. So
yeah.
So
at the start there.
At the start, they were because that was how Lita was she would do whatever he did, whatever high flying shit that he did in the ring, she would do, and it helped. That's what started her on the main roster. So yeah, definitely there. Andrade and Zelina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. In NXT once, because Andrade in NXT was like the party boy. He was just going out every night. Once Zelina was put with him, that's where it got serious. That's where he was really got the push. Had the great matches with so many people there. Eventually made his way to the main roster, of course. And one other couple, none of us mentioned, but you can't deny that they are not memorable. Rusev and Lana.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you? It didn't come up to me because we know how they've just been bastardized by WWE's writing staff. But still, they are legit couple in real life. Did really well together. That whole run that Rusev had with John Cena and everything else that was going on. The feud that they fucked up when they went public with their relationship with Dolph and Summer Rae. So, yeah.
And then one other one I actually completely forgot about, and I wanted to put in honorable mentions, but I forgot about, and that's Karrion Kross and Scarlett.
Yeah, there you go.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
But our final top 10 of on-screen couples in wrestling history.
We already did it.
Yeah, we already
A recap.
Now, Scott, you have Walter's list.
Yes, we have to do Walter's unofficial list now. So yes, looking until we pull this up here, and we all actually got a copy of it. So we'll just pull names out as we go.
Yeah.
So number one on the list, we have do I have number one right? I think somebody had number one right.
Yeah.
I'm
reading it here.
I got it.
Yeah. So number one,
Jeff, Jarrett, and Deborah.
Deborah, that was number one.
Right.
Yeah.
Number two, the Blue Boy and Jasmine St. Clair from ECW.
Yeah.
Number three, Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett.
Yes, which is really weird he put that on there. I don't know why Walter would think of that stuff. I don't know. 4, what was number 4?
Cody Rhodes and Brandy.
That's it, yep. 5 is Baby Doll and Tully Blanchard. That's on there too for some reason.
Number 6, Billy and Chuck.
Billy and Chuck, yes, yeah. And actually, they're number 7 too. They're 6 and 7. That's really weird.
How?
It's Billy and Chuck, and then it's Chuck and Billy. That's why.
Yeah,
so he's got that up.
That's
then next up is Harvey Whippleman and Bertha Faye.
Right, Bertha Faye. That's
number
on there
9. Number 9, Kane and Tori.
Kane and Tori, yeah. It's pretty weird he would do that. And then number 10. I don't know if we really want to talk about this one. I mean, it's not really a couple. It's a threesome, and that's America's Most Wanted and Gail Kim. So
okay,
it's like, hey, Gail Kim gets on the list, I'm happy, but I don't know why that one was on there. So yeah, that's Walter's list, everybody, of what he thinks top 10 is. It's like,
so now on to the worst couples.
Worst couples of all time.
Couples and couples that were way too short-lived.
Wait, we didn't just do that?
Okay, can we just say that Vince and Linda are the worst couple in wrestling history?
On screen, yes.
In terms of on screen, it is the absolute worst fucking couple you can ever think of.
Loveless couple on television of all time.
And they always end up back together.
Always. Somehow or other. Disgusting. That's a horrible couple.
Any one of Tori Wilson or Stacy Keibler's couples?
Yeah, Tori Wilson and
well, the one with Stacy I liked for that short run was Orton. That wasn't.
I don't even remember.
It ended
and David
in a memorable
Flair, Stacy and Shawn Stasiak, Stacy and Tess, Stacy and Scott Steiner,
Tori and
Kidman,
Tajiri, Tori and Tajiri. That was on there too. Medeja and Scott Steiner. I mean, she was fine. They looked good together, but it's just like
she didn't really add anything.
Missed. No, it didn't. Robin Green and Rick Steiner. Remember that one?
Yes. That was Woman's Introduction.
I just remembered this one.
Yeah.
This is one of the worst, just for the mere fact of the storyline they were pitched. Paul Burchill and Katie Lee.
Yes. Yeah. Nothing was into it that.
Vince, we get it. You want to do an incest angle, but it's not going to work.
We mentioned Lana earlier, but Lana and Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. Oh God, that whole thing.
Don't get me started on that dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
I went on like a 30-minute rant at the end of 2019 about that.
Lana and Dolph Ziggler.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Rusev and Summer Rae.
That was bad. Yep.
Summer Rae and Fandango.
I thought they were good.
Not that great, though.
Not that great, but not worst.
Yep. Who else was there? Gail Kim and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
that was
That was
stupid.
Oh God! Speaking of Bryan, remember
Paige and Brad Maddox. They were an on-screen couple.
Yeah, technically, they were an off-screen couple too. Their videos just kept coming and coming and coming.
Jesus Christ, guys!
It would see my belt. Oh, there it is.
It's on eBay. If we're on that subject, Paige and Xavier Woods.
Paige and yes. Yeah.
But no, back on serious. We're a serious wrestling show.
Serious now.
That was it. Vicky and Ziggler, I did not like at all.
No.
Vicky and Ziggler.
Vicky and Edge, though, was better.
Yeah, that was actually good.
That was good.
That was good.
That was good.
Oh my God, Great Khali and Natalia. Fuck that shit.
Oh, speaking of Vicky and Eric Escobar. Remember that pairing that lasted like 2 weeks?
No, I don't remember that. Wow.
No, I don't.
I don't know how I remembered that one, but it was so bad it lasted maybe a couple of times and it was over.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan Shamrock and Ken Shamrock. There's your incest angle again.
Oh my God.
Now they...
Let's see.
Fucking hell, Ricky.
Billy Gunn and Sonny. They were a pair during the Smoking Gun
Yeah, they were.
Oh, yeah.
When Sonny was with the Smoking Guns.
Yes.
And speaking of Sonny and Phineas Godwin. That
Sonny
lasted
and Phineas, that
lasted all of one night.
Yeah.
And fucking Ricky, China and X-Pac, you sorry son of...
China and X-Pac, One Night in China.
Oh my God.
Actually, a pairing that was good, didn't mention, that could have been an honorable mention, Lance Storm and Dawn Marie.
Yeah.
Tammy Lynn Bitch. BYTCH. That was good. That worked. What else was there?
Now this
was horrible.
Oh. I'm just going to keep doing this till I remember. No, the Demon and Asia, or whatever the fuck her name was. Remember that in WCW?
Yes, it was Asia.
It was Asia? Mm-hmm.
Asia and Torborg.
Yes.
But this couple, now to ones that were two...
Yeah, we mentioned Vicky and Dolph, actually, yep.
Yeah.
And, yep.
Yeah, and now to like the other part of the other side of the coin, like couples that didn't last long, or they tried to get to work, but circumstance got in the way. The biggest example, Jeff Hardy and Trish. They tried so many times, and
they had no chemistry. They had no chemistry together.
Well, only because they weren't given time to have chemistry. Like, the first time they tried to put them together, the invasion angle happened, so they had to cut that, and then 03, and then Jeff gets fired. They didn't have the time to develop the chemistry. That's the number one example of a couple that could have worked if circumstance didn't get in the way. But I digress on that one.
Uh-oh.
God damn it, Ricky. Demon, Finn Balor, and Kathy Kelly. Hey, well, Finn's a lucky son of a bitch. I will say that, but for crying out loud.
Yes.
But in terms of couples that were good but didn't last long.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, a personal one, John Cena and Mickie James. They were going somewhere with them too in 08, and then suddenly they were gone, and it's because this was around the time when Mickie cheated on Kenny Dykstra with Cena, and then Cena and Mickie are together. Then they break up, so they just split them on screen with no explanation.
Oh, speaking for the worst ones, speaking of Cena and AJ.
Yeah.
AJ and pretty much everybody she was with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bryan, Punk, Kane, Cena, Ziggler, none of them.
And then Eve Torres and Zack Ryder was...
Oh, yeah, the death of Zack. Yeah. The end of his career. But now
he's revived. He revived his career.
Yeah. And he's got, her, that thing with him, Butterface. No offense. But, yeah.
Oh, another worst one, Mike Knox and Kelly Kelly. That was stupid.
Oh, Kelly and a lot of...
Yeah, a lot of people didn't work, yes. And, Maria and Mike Kanellis.
Yeah, not a big fan of that one. Yeah, even though they're buried in real life.
Outside of WWE, not that bad, but in WWE, they weren't.
In WWE, they were...
They never got the connection there.
No.
Oh, AJ and that chick who said she was pregnant by him.
Oh, Claire
Lynch.
That was so stupid. Oh,
that's like borderline Vince and Linda is the worst right there. I was trying to think of some Ring of Honor combinations.
Oh my God,
it was hard to come up with a few.
I'm having PTSD flashbacks to AJ and Claire Lynch. Oh my God.
Because Christopher Daniels had a faction in Ring of Honor, the Prophecy, and he had simply Luscious first as his woman in the group, but eventually he got not Kathy, but Allison Danger, Steve Carino's sister. She did really good in the role of being like his assistant there. So she did really good with him. So they had good chemistry in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I'm still trying to think of like other bad ones.
Another bad one, SoCal Val and Sanjay Dutt.
Yeah, her and Jay Lethal was good. Her
that
and
was
Sanjay
good. Yeah.
was bad.
Yeah, didn't work.
Oh God, another
Velvet Sky and Chris Sabin on screen didn't work.
On screen did not work. You know, they were dating
Bully Ray
behind
and
the scenes.
Brooke Hogan.
Thank you.
Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan was bad.
When you mentioned Tessmacher and I'm sorry, when you mentioned Bully Ray, I thought you were going to say Bully and Brooke at first.
I mean, that's how they introduced the two together.
Yep.
Bringing Brooke back, and it was Brooke
Tessmacher. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to think of other bad ones. I'm trying to remember some ones in TNA that were pretty bad.
I know, that's where it's kind of tough to...
ODB and Eric Young.
Yeah, that didn't work. Not really. Who was Tracy Brooks with?
A lot of people.
Bobby Roode, Kazarian.
Kazarian, yeah.
Yeah.
Her and Punk were a couple in real life for a while there, and then she married Kazarian.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. Whoever that interviewer chick was with Abyss, that was stupid.
Alex Shelley and Goldilocks.
God, I forgot about her.
God.
Wow. High five.
Oh God! And Arthur Jones for a recent one that was bad. Buddy Murphy and Aaliyah Guerrero or Mysterio. Why do you say Guerrero?
I mean,
yeah.
Only Dominic is Eddie's kid.
Yeah, exactly. He's got hair. Ray doesn't. So hey.
Oh wow. Now, I saw in the comments like Arthur Jones bringing up like Santino and Maria's bad. I thought they were good.
They were good together.
Santino and Maria, not as good
Santino
and funny as Santino and Beth was great.
That was great.
Could have been an honorable mention.
Santino and Tamina wasn't that bad.
That was another one where it was too short.
Mm-hmm.
Very short-lived, and we didn't really get to see where that was going. Viscera and Lillian Garcia, that one.
Oh God!
I'm kind of in the middle on that because it was entertaining, but at the same time, it's like, really, Viscera? The guy who was in the Ministry is like the fucking googly-eyed
former King of the Ring.
Oh fuck! The wife just mentioned one. Nadia and Jamie Noble.
Yeah,
that was a great
double wide.
It's the double wide. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Eating at Applebee's.
Yes, that was a great one.
Yeah.
But she also mentioned Rico and Jackie.
Yeah.
Brief as a bad one. I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was.
Because that led to Jackie and Charlie Haas, which on screen wasn't the best.
Wasn't great, but behind the scenes. What was it? Oh, jeez. Daphne and Crowbar.
Oh, jeez.
And then Daphne and David Flair.
And then TNA, Daphne and Dr. Stevie.
Dr. Stevie, yeah. That was in there, too.
Yeah. Holy shnighties. Oh my God. I just remembered. Oh God, I'm getting even more PTSD flashbacks now. I just thought of the... Oh.
What?
Beaver Cleavage and his mom.
Beaver Cleavage and mom, yes. Oh my God.
One we didn't mention for the best, but Angelina Love and Winter.
Oh, you know, that makes sense. Angelina Love and Winter. That would be good. That is a good one. Meanwhile, Levi's having a conniption over there.
Because Beaver Cleavage and his mommy.
Because that's funny.
Bro.
Oh my God. So tonight I've experienced 2 PTSD flashbacks. That's
PPTSSDT.
Oh my Lord. I'll never forget seeing those first vignettes of Beaver Cleavage. I'm like, what are they? And I'm thinking in my head now, what the fuck were they doing with Headbanger Mosh at this point? Like, good lord.
Anything they could. Anything they
Mosh, fucking Beaver Cleavage, Chaz. What the fuck were you thinking? But yeah, like, and I'm still trying to remember other. Well, how do we feel about Goldust and Luna?
Fine, I liked it.
We're fine.
Yeah, I liked it.
It led to some
short period
really
for that
weird
short
shit.
period of time.
Worked.
It led to
Crazy
some really
as well.
weird shit, like fucking Goldust with the pink hair, and the green paint with the ball gag in his mouth, and the cufflinks.
God, how did we miss this one? Hurricane and Molly Holly.
Oh,
yeah. Molly and a Hurricane. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one right there. That's top notch.
Molly Holly and Spike Dudley.
Spike Dudley, yes. That was even better. Because that was like the legitimate like couple type of. You can't talk about my girlfriend like that.
Oh yeah, so close. Yeah,
Getting up to
you and
Austin.
your bimbo girlfriend. Yep. Wait, what did you just say? Molly. She's a bimbo, and your
bimbo. You know that? Can't talk about my girlfriend like that.
Oh god.
What else was there? There's got to be like some other obscure. I'm trying to think of like
Chrissy,
AWA, World Class.
Chrissy, Hemi, and Eugene. That was
Chrissy, Hemi, and Eugene. That was one. Okay, I forgot that one.
Yeah, that was like summer 2005. The Rock and Deborah. Thank God they dropped that when they did. Otherwise, I don't know what would have happened.
The Rock and Lillian Garcia.
Yes,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yep. She wants some
would you like to try some of the Rock's strudel?
Yes,
anything in the world. What in the blue hell is wrong with you?
Tremendous. Let's see. What else is there?
Oh my god. Fucking Stone Cold and Lillian Garcia, for fuck's sake. After Raw went off the air, they just keep having fun. And on his knees, will you give me another beer?
Yes. Yep. So adorable.
Watching those back, it's like, what? Happy for us that he found a lead, but I think he would have been fine with Lillian, because they seem to like have so much fun on screen, or after Raw was off the air, they just love hanging out.
Wife is sending me another one here.
I think that would have been a cool, like, real life couple if they actually hit it off.
There's got to be like some other obvious ones we haven't thought of yet.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to think of like ones from obscure in TNA off the top of my head. Actually, a good couple, Jacqueline and James Storm. They were a good pair together.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What else is there? We're all racking our brains out trying to think. I'm trying to think like other obscure ones. Going back to Florida, Kevin Sullivan and the Fallen Angel. Because we mentioned Woman before, and we also mentioned Robin Green before. Let's mention her third character, the Fallen Angel, Kevin Sullivan in Florida. Who else was there?
God. Oh yeah, an obscure one from Ring of Honor, AJ Styles and Alexis Lurie.
That's right. They were like a tandem. Yeah, they were. They weren't. Yeah, they were just paired up together. Well, actually, this is a group thing, but she might be into the group thing. Leia Meow and the Young Dragons.
I mean,
you know.
Of Hiroku and Kenzo Suzuki. Oh god, now that made me think of that one promo Cena cut on them both. I gotta watch that promo back to remember the whole thing.
It's the rap battle. It's during the rap battle they had.
Yeah. Because he brought one of the funniest lines ever, and I can't remember it all off the top of my head. I have to watch it back. Fucking hell.
Oh, dude! The Cat and Mrs. Jones.
Yeah, from WCW.
Cat and Mrs. Jones from WCW. They danced together and shit. She hardly did like anything except that, but still, it worked. And she took a guitar shot from Jarrett, so yeah, that's good. That's what the wife is good for. She's got better memory with me for some of these things. Thank you. You're welcome from the other room. You're welcome.
What are some other ones?
Some other ones. Again, I'm trying to think of obscure ones.
Yeah.
Like AWA, I can't think of anything. But Sherry managed Pretty Boy Summers and Playboy Buddy Rose, but that wasn't like a couple thing. Yeah. Medusa was with.
Speaking of Sherry, Sherry and Colonel Robert Parker.
Oh, that's on the worst.
Yeah, that's on the worst. Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing was bad.
Macho Man and Gorgeous George.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nasty.
Nasty.
Speaking of old and young, Lawler and the Cat.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that whole situation. ECW, Easy Money and Elektra. Because Elektra was coming out with a group at the time, and Easy Money was in that.
Lita when she was Angelica with Danny Doring.
That whole thing, yeah. Miss Congeniality, that deal.
Francine and Justin Credible.
Yes, yeah. And that was really good. That really worked well for Justin. That's when Francine kind of followed the championship, the gold digger thing, angle she was doing.
Danny Doring, why did you have to look like Owen Hart's frat boy brother?
Yep.
I swear to God.
He did.
I know they weren't paired together often on television, but Gangrel and Luna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was good.
Luna and Bam Bam.
Main Squeeze.
That's
Squeeze.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Luna and Shawn. That was the thing there for a brief time.
One night.
Mania 9.
Yep. What else is there?
Yeah, and earlier we were talking about Sherry and Tatanka. That would be among the worst, or just ones that you just
that's worse.
You blink and you miss, like, oh well.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Oh, there it is, and it's gone.
And it's gone.
And that's it.
Oh shit! I'm still trying to remember some TNA ones though.
Yeah, there's got to be more that we're not getting.
Yeah. Kevin Nash and Jenna Maraska was what?
That's it. Yeah.
Matt Harvey, Rebby Sky.
Oh.
Yeah.
Both real life and on screen suck. Because fuck Rebby Sky. And I don't mean in the cooter either. I got Scott on that.
Nice.
Oh shit.
God, did we kind of get them all? Jeez.
AJ and Karen Jarrett.
That was entertaining.
That was good.
It was funny,
that was
but
fun.
It's like, really?
When Karen and Kurt are renewing their vows, and then AJ gets in the way, and the minister comes to, and I now pronounce you man and wife, and they're married. That was during Prince AJ.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. What about Vince and Trish?
That wasn't bad.
That wasn't
for
bad.
its time. It was a good angle. You got Trish over. Got more heat on her.
And then
better than Vince and Sable.
Oh, good. That could go on the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cena fucking burying Vince and Sable. She's only with you for the money, Holmes. When she's done stealing from you, she comes to tickle my funny bones. I'll never forget that line. Because pretty much, I think, like, right after that, the on-screen couple of Vince and Sable was done. Like, immediately after that, like, Cena, you killed Vince's love.
Let's see. We have not mentioned anybody in AEW because I can't think of any.
No.
Randy and Cody is the only one.
Oh, that's right. Randy and Cody on Walter's list.
Yeah. Currently, right now, Dexter Lumis, Indy Hartwell.
I mean, the only other one in AEW I can maybe think of is Chris Statlander, Orange Cassidy.
Well, Britt Baker and Adam Cole.
Oh, yeah, that.
That's too, yeah.
Oh, Christy Hemme, Lance Hoyt, that was... That's a TNA one.
That's a bad one.
Yeah. Fucking coming out with Guitar Hero guitars and shit.
But is there any other in AEW that you could think of? Maybe?
I can't think of any.
I wouldn't know.
I can't think of any other couples like that.
Oh god, this one. Yeah, this one Arthur just brought was bad in TNA. Tara or Victoria and Jesse Goddard. Fuck that. Hated that.
Who are you? Who are you?
Exactly.
Who are you?
That's exactly what it was. Who is this guy?
But don't you know, it's Jesse from reality television.
Yeah.
Yeah, like wrestling fans watch reality television a lot like that.
Mm.
But whatever. Yeah, I can't really think of any more now.
I know we hit all the big ones. We
Yeah.
definitely hit all the big ones. Maybe some more obscure ones. Pardon me. Like Sunshine and Chris Adams in World Class was an on-screen pair for a while.
Oh yeah, who the fuck? Austin and Jeannie in
WCW.
WCW.
Oh yeah, Lady Blossom, Austin and Lady Blossom. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they were also married for real during that time too.
Right. Yep, that was there.
Yeah.
I guess there was a time it was for the Dangerous Alliance, Medusa and Rick Rude.
Yeah.
That was a combination there too, so that worked.
They were on screen briefly, but Jake and Cheryl Roberts.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, just there in that Rick Rude angle. A fig leaf for little Rick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we did mention Miss Kitty and Jerry Lawler. Miss Kitty and China.
Yes.
Yes, that was quite interesting.
But speaking of real life relationships, Ricky and Bonnie Steamboat.
The death stare.
Yeah. They were together on screen here and there.
Yeah, they were.
Undertaker and Sarah.
Yeah, Undertaker and Sarah. Yeah, that's right up there.
Twice. 01 and late 02 heading into the Brock feud.
Notice we mentioned Austin and Deborah.
Oh, yeah.
There's one we're not going to mention that I think we all know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we won't be doing that one.
No.
God did
it.
Now, for real life couples, Taker and Michelle McCool, obviously.
Yeah, Taker and Michelle McCool.
Braun Strowman, Raquel Gonzalez. That's a interesting one. Because Braun's being the brick shithouse he is, and then Raquel being the tallest lady in the roster.
I got a funny one from the wife. Kevin Thorne and Ariel.
Oh, God. I didn't want to say that one thing.
I'll say it.
On screen, Davey and Diana.
Yeah. Davey and Diana, yes.
Yeah.
Davey Boy and Diana Smith, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that was fine. Sonny and Shawn. I mean, that wasn't on screen, but
they did have a segment on screen where Shawn fingered her during a pre-show.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, she did do that. Yeah, wasn't that England?
Yeah, that was the one night only pre-show when Shawn was going to be the Grand Slam. He's coked out of his mind. Sonny's interviewing him, and he's fingering her during the interview.
Yep.
So for those who want to know what that's like, you can find it on YouTube, and you wonder, why does Sonny sometimes get a little higher pitch in her voice? Well, Shawn doing a little extracurriculars.
You wonder why they didn't move the camera.
Exactly.
Yeah. Keep it up here.
Yeah. Tyson.
But in terms of
yeah.
Real life couples.
Adam Cole, Britt Baker, of course, as well.
Right. Mention that. Miz and Maurice. Oh, we didn't say Edge and Beth.
Yeah, Edge
Right,
and Beth.
yeah.
And even on screen, they're really good too.
Yeah, we just saw that. Yeah. Who else?
Paige and Del Rio.
I can go on the worst.
Wow, that's worse. Yeah, that's bad.
I had to go there.
They weren't on screen together.
No,
Well, I guess not.
no, they weren't. No, they weren't.
Well, I mean, they might have been on screen somewhere.
Like some independent show or someplace in Mexico, I'm pretty sure they were.
Arthur, Charlotte and Andrade could be in like the worst off-screen couples, real-life couples, because that whole relationship seems so bad.
Seems toxic. Yep.
I mean, Charlotte and pretty much Charlotte and
she's been with Brown.
Who was her last? Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Moxley and Renee Young.
Right? Yeah, Moxley, Renee.
They're really cool together, especially
Seth and Becky.
One. Yes, Seth and Becky.
Yes, Seth and Becky, of course.
I mean, you do a parody on them all the time now.
Mm-hmm.
Mia who just got married recently. Keith Lee and
Mia Yim and Keith Lee.
But yeah, it's funny, back to Mox and Renee, I remember that one Total Divas episode where they're with Renee's parents are having lunch and some fan stole Renee's hat. The equivalent to the bedpan sound of Austin and Vince. The fucking sound of when, or Dean at the time, he throws a fork on the glass, the sound that made. I'm like, that was so funny. That's like the equivalent of the bedpan. To bing. Mm-hmm. And then later on, they're doing some shopping and he gets her a leather jacket and put gagged in her mouth.
Oh,
that was like nunchuck gag her mouth. Like, ooh, they're into some kinky shit.
Off-screen wrestling couple, Shawn Michaels and Rebecca.
Yes.
Yep.
Former Nitro girl.
Brian and Brie.
Brian Danielson and Brie. Yes, Brian Danielson and Brie. Yeah, that's another one.
Oh, in terms of worst on-screen couples, John Cena and Nikki Bella.
Yes. Yeah.
Worst.
And it's funny to think how Brian and Brie first met, and then on screen they were trying to play off like the Bellas, they're competing to be Brian's first. They're so happy he's a vegan. Because it sounds like virgin.
And then they find him with Gail Kim.
Yeah. And then, of course, the classic story of fucking Brian and Brie, their first time they're getting ready to have sex at a hotel, and in walks a drunk Sheamus and Ted Jr. coming in, and Sheamus going, fella, Sheamus, what is wrong with you?
With you.
I'll never forget hearing that story back when What Culture used to be worth a shit, and they did the 10 things that we want you to forget about Daniel Bryan, and number one was, it was Sheamus, number one, walking in on Daniel Bryan fucking, and then hearing about the story in Bryan's book, and then Blampier going, Sheamus, what is wrong with you? Sheamus ruins everything. I'm like, well, yeah, he did ruin their first night of sex. So that's true. Corey Graves, Carmella, that's another one. Jimmy Uso, Naomi.
Yep.
I still can't get that image out of my head of Mox with the nunchucks putting like a gag in Renee's mouth, like right in front of her parents. Like, and they're like, "You guys gonna get busy tonight."
I remember seeing like Moxley give like Renee a German suplex onto their bed.
Yeah.
Full shoot too. She tucked her head, thank God. Still.
Rhonda and Travis Brown. They're cool together. And I'm always going to hold respect for Travis Brown after the whole Brett
Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah.
But I don't count that because he's not.
He's not in the business.
I know he's not in the business, but still just...
He never laced up a pair of boots in his life.
Boy! Pair of my bags.
Taya Valkyrie, John Morrison.
Yep, that's the one. Yep.
Oh! Speaking of Morrison, we forgot him and Melina.
Him and Melina, yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Melina and Batista. Wait a minute.
How big's Batista's stick? Don't know.
How big is Batista? Ask her. She knows. Enough to plump up that booty. That's how big it is.
Doing the Batista retrospective, I'm shocked I have not gotten that in a comment, in a question.
You were going to. You were going to.
With all the things going on in this world that may be scary and whatnot, I just have one question to ask. How big is Batista's
dick?
And Iron Sheik is the only one who ever gave an answer.
Right.
We finally got an answer.
Iron Sheik and crack. There's a great combination.
Scott Steiner and steroids. That's another.
Allegedly.
Yep. Jake Roberts and cocaine. That's New Jack and cocaine.
Shawn Michaels and cocaine.
Shawn Michaels and pills. Yeah.
Half the 80s roster
and cocaine and rats. Yep.
Undertaker and
Raven and any fat chick at the bar he sees after the show.
Undertaker and Jack Daniels.
Oh yeah, big combination there. Yokozuna and Jack Daniels.
Yokozuna and food.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Rest in peace, but
still. Yeah.
I'll never forget. Actually, I was watching that one WWE Countdown episode where they did. Funny enough, when we did the top 10 oddball or odd pairing tag teams, and they had Owen and Yoko, and Terry Taylor told the story about how they were all together at a restaurant, and Yoko was asking for 6 entrees. Oh, is you having a party? No, those are just for me.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is Liv Morgan dating Bo Dallas right now?
Liv Morgan's dated a couple of guys. He was with the guy.
Enzo.
Speaking of on screen, wasn't Enzo and Nia Jax for a short period of time?
That was on screen. Yes. That was pretty cool. How you doing?
and then Enzo became a moron and got fired.
Yeah. You see him now though? He's getting jacked. He's on stuff.
He's back in the business.
I saw him in a recent Grimm's Toy Show video at a convention. They were all together.
Speaking of Carmella, Big Cass and Carmella were together.
Yes, Big Cass and Carmella, they were combo there for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still like...
Well, I guess for the time, WCW, Major Guns and Lance Storm. Because Major Guns, part of the Canadian team there. Canada, yeah, that was there.
Damn it. I think I've pretty much run out of stuff.
Yeah.
I think we've covered all of them.
Or most of them.
Yeah.
And somebody will bring up, hey, you forgot.
You forgot this one. You forgot this one.
Hold on. Actually, you forgot. You forgot Terry Funk and the branding iron.
Oh my
sorry.
God. You forgot Mick Foley.
I love that branding
iron.
Oh,
God. Oh, God.
What would Terry Funk say about relationships within the business?
Let me tell you exactly what the best relationship in professional wrestling can be. It is not a man and a woman. It is a man and his horse. Because I've had many horses. I loved horses. One time I had to step out on a show because I had a sick horse at home. But did I shoot that horse? Oh, no, I did not, because I still had the STPD from killing that jackass when I was a kid. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. The DTSP, no, that's not right either. The SPTD, no, that's right. The PTSD, no, that's not. I can't say it because I kept that horse alive for as long as I could, till ultimately it became a pile of dog food.
Clip that, please. You made Arthur Jones go, what the fuck?
Yep.
But actually, Terry, I got a question for you, Mr. Funk. So, a few weeks ago, the Grinch decided to pop out and impersonate you. How do you feel about the Grinch, Mr. Funk?
Who the hell's the Grinch? I don't know what that is. Why would I care about a Grinch, a Finch, a Glinch, a Cinch, or anything else that ends in inch? Because the only thing you can associate with that's an inch long is your mentality.
Mr. Terry Funk, sir, I have a question for you. How big is Batista's dick?
It is gigantic! It is the size of a jacket!
One more question, Mr. Terry Funk, sir. How's your day?
Oh my god!
Yeah, my day's actually pretty good. How about you?
And we're getting that episode in a couple of weeks, which, speaking of what's coming up, Levi, what's coming up on the schedule?
I got it right here, so I'll just do it.
Okay.
His brain is gone. I wiped his brain out, so it's okay. Next week, here on the Shadow Cult, we will be doing In Your House Final Four. We will be doing that pay-per-view. And then the following week, oh, God, I'm going to regret that show. It is going to be Terry Funk in ECW. We'll be talking about the Funker in ECW from the beginning to the end with that company. And then we roll into March, and March is WrestleMania season. We have all WrestleMania stuff lined up for you folks that month. First week in March, March 5th, we will be doing WrestleMania 4, a review of WrestleMania 4. It's going to be a long show, folks. So we have a lot to talk about with that show.
87 matches.
87 matches, yes. That's just the main show. We're not talking about the pre-show, too. Finally, we got to that March 12th. We will have our next top 10, which will be top 10 WrestleMania openers. Top 10 WrestleMania opening matches will be on that week. The week after that, we will be reviewing WrestleMania 28. And then rounding out the month of March, we will have our last top 10 of the month, and it will be top 10 worst WrestleMania main events.
There's going to be a lot of them.
Yep, there will be. So get your list ready to compare with us, compare and contrast your lists, and we will be happy to hear what you folks have to say about those things. We'll set up April and May and all the schedules pretty soon. Beach Brawl UWF. We'll be talking about those shows eventually down the line. So you will get to Beach Brawl UWF. Yeah, we'll get to that eventually. So
we're gonna be doing some obscure shit.
I have an idea. Can we please do something for my friends, the Insane Clown Posse?
How would you sing? Hey, Mr. Funk, how would you sing the theme to the Oddities?
Oh God!
I don't even know it, so I can't do it.
Just say whoop whoop, Terry Funk.
Whoop whoop.
There you go. It would have to be like so deadpan. Hold on. Whoop, whoop, jackass.
Well, actually, I got one final question, Mr. Funk. Can you quote Triple H's theme song?
Oh, okay. It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about something a British guy says with mutton chops and 2 Cocoa Puffs on his face.
See, yes, we need an episode, Ask Terry Anything.
Oh, God, that'd be the funniest.
That will get tiring after 5 minutes. Turning red here. Turning red, people.
Yeah, you're turning red as a tomato.
That's right. Jackass tomato. Okay. Everything just throw jackass in there.
No, we need an Ask Stu Hart Anything.
Yeah, there we go.
How does Helen's pussy smell?
No!
You asked for it. Oh. You asked for it. You asked for it.
Oh my God.
You didn't answer the question, Stu. Answer the question, Stu. It smells like ranch, doesn't it? It smells like ranch. I'll bet it smells like ranch. Leftover ranch dressing.
You want to know what Helen's pussy
Don't be doing
smells
funk.
like?
That's my shit. Don't be doing funk. My
It
shit
smells like a jackass.
All right, and on that note, it's plug time.
Yes, it's plug time. Scott,
I can't. I'm unplugging. I can't.
Levi, You plug first.
James, you're together. You do it first.
Okay, subscribe to my YouTube at We Are Pro Wrestling. I'm covering Batista's WWE career, and then afterwards, WrestleManias. Follow me on Twitter at WAPW_wrestling, and enjoy my stuff.
And whoop whoop. Right. Find me on my YouTube channel. The shit like this I got to start doing on my YouTube channel. This is way more fun than what I'm doing lately. Find me on YouTube. It's Mr. Scott. Reactions, reviews, all that stuff. Find me on Twitter and Twitch under, Twitter and Instagram under It's Mr. Scott. Find me on Twitch under It's Mr. Scott. And find me on different podcasts, also the Necrocasticon, where you find me and my good brother Walter Ball, who is really going to be upset he couldn't be here tonight for this chicanery. But me and Walter, part of the Necrocasticon Horror Metal Podcast, comes out every Monday via the necrocasticon.com, and because Monday is Necro Days. And you can find our good brother Walter on Twitter at YourWaltBall, and he's on Instagram at smoking_Walt_ball. Levi, take us home.
Well, oh my lord! I feel like I'm smelling Helen's pussy right now. Actually, oh my god, what did I just do?
Dude.
All right. Anyways, you guys have infected me. All right, so
you're welcome.
You're welcome. Oh, I forgot to plug. I just put up a new video tonight.
Oh yeah,
7.
I need to check it out.
Yes, 7 songs to make you fall in love with heavy metal. Since it is Valentine's Day weekend, and I want to do another metal list. Which, by the way, Levi, loved your latest, your top 10 thrash metal albums for new listeners of metal. I love that list. I couldn't have enough thumbs to give you a likes on that video. So yes, that was a great video there too. So yeah, 7 songs to make you fall in love with heavy metal. Check it out on my channel, please.
And finally, you can subscribe to me, ThrashManiac99 on YouTube. Mostly because with this, as well, and Scott's just dead over there. Because with this, and also I was out of town most of the day, I'm going to be a day behind with my reviews for albums. But tomorrow, I should have my review for the new Voivod album coming up. And then Monday, I'm going to do double duty, both a Amorphous review as well as maybe a response to your list of the 7 songs that'll make you fall in love with heavy metal. I have to think about that. And also coming out here in like the next week or so will be my multi-part series of band versus band. You want to watch me crumble in shame? Well, there you go.
That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking misery for me. Because I'm going to have to make some tough choices. But you can follow me on Instagram at ThrashManiac_YT. Just 10 followers away from 500. So we're really getting there.
Awesome.
And then finally follow and or subscribe to me on Twitch at ThrashManiac99. Almost to 400 followers on the Twitch side of things. And speaking of the Twitch side, we're going to raid our dude, our dog, our diggity doink, Daniel DK, who's actually in North Carolina with another good friend of mine and his, Not Your Kitty Cosplay, and holy shit. Anyways.
Yes.
But anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week for In Your House Final 4.
Later.
Luckily that'll be an easy watch because it's only like less than 2 hours. So
right.
It's going to be an easy watch.
But there's going to be a lot to talk about, especially with the format and plans might have been changing around.
Mm-hmm. But until
isn't Chamber next weekend too? Isn't that next Saturday? Or Sunday?
Or it's during the week, I think. Maybe.
I thought it was Saturday. I think it might be Saturday, actually. I think it's during the day. Let's look it up, though. Let's make sure we don't have to...
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's
next Saturday, but it'd be in the daytime.
It is. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We can talk about that if we want to.
Yep.
So.
Alrighty, well, we shall see you next week if we haven't recovered from our
old
chronic
pussy.
laughter. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. And Terry Funk losing his fucking mind like all the time. or Steve Hart wondering what Helen's pussy smells like. And by the way, Arthur Jones, before we go in, Arthur Jones even said, we got the 3 Stooges here. James is Curly, me as Larry, Scott as Mo.
I'll take that. I respect that. Thank you.
All right, but We're out.
And the answer is maple syrup.
That's right.